You try, you care, you show up. This video will ask you one quiet question. You are a great partner. You know this the way you know your own name, without thinking, without questioning. You come home, you don't disappear. You make the coffee in the morning, 2 cups, always 2. Yours black, hers with milk. You leave hers on the counter before she wakes up. A small thing, a quiet thing, the kind of thing a good partner does. You've seen the other kind, the screaming, the leaving, the cruelty that wears a familiar face. You are not that. You have never been that. You remember birthdays. You fix things when they break. And so you carry this knowledge like a certificate. Proof. You are trying. And in your world, trying has always been enough. You have evidence, years of it. She's still here. You're still here. The apartment still has both your names on it. You still say goodnight. You still share a bed. But when was the last time she told you something she hadn't told anyone else first? When was the last time you made a new memory together? Not a routine, not a holiday photo, a real one. The kind that becomes a story you both tell the same way. You can't remember. That's okay. It's hard to remember things that stopped happening. The small things don't announce themselves. They arrive quietly, dressed as nothing. She used to laugh at your stories, not politely, really laugh. The kind where she'd grab your arm. Now she smiles. A good smile, a kind smile, but contained. She stopped arguing with you about the small things, the dishes, the plans you cancel. She just adjusts. You called it growth. You called it maturity. Maybe this is about someone you know, a couple you've watched fade from the outside. That's a comfortable place to put this. Stay there if you need to. The conversations changed shape so slowly you didn't notice the shape was gone. You used to talk about things that didn't matter and somehow mattered completely. A fear she'd never said out loud before. The version of the future that was half real, half invented. You were the person she brought those things to. Now you talk about Tuesday, about who calls the plumber, about whether to visit her parents this month or next. She still laughs with her friends. You've heard it through the phone. That laugh, the real one, the uncontained one, still exists. It just doesn't live in the same room as you anymore. Right now, someone came to mind. You're thinking, this is them. This is exactly them. No, look closer. We're not talking about them. You still play the part flawlessly. Dinner with friends. Someone asks how you two are doing. You smile. She smiles. We're great. Busy, but great. And in that moment, you actually believe it. Because the performance is so good, even the actors forget their acting. But later that night, in bed, you reach for her hand. She lets you hold it, but she doesn't hold back. Her hand is just there. Present, but not participating. You haven't fought in months. You call that peace. The distance has no name. That's what makes it so hard to fight. There's no incident, no betrayal, no moment you could point to and say, there, that's when it changed. Just a slow drift. 2 people in the same bed, orbiting each other like planets that no longer share gravity. You are there. You are always there. But there is a difference between being in the room and being present in it. Tonight, she's lying next to you, eyes open, staring at the ceiling. You don't ask what she's thinking, because part of you is afraid she'll tell you. There is a conversation happening that you are not in. She's with her friend. The easy things first. Then her friend asks, quieter now, "How are things? Really?" She's quiet for a moment. "He's a good man," she says. "I want you to know that first." A pause. "I just don't think he sees me anymore. I've stopped telling him certain things. Not because he'd react badly, because I don't think he'd react at all." "Have you told him?" She looks down at her drink. How do you tell someone who's trying so hard that their trying isn't reaching you? A sad laugh. He has no idea. He thinks we're fine. He comes home. He makes the coffee every morning. But I'm so lonely. I'm just so lonely. The friend doesn't know what to say. Neither would you. Morning. The kitchen. He's making coffee. 2 cups. Always 2. He sets hers on the counter. She walks in. Looks at the mug. Doesn't touch it. You still think you're a great partner. See you in the next blind spot.